Hi, Sophie here. Welcome back to my upstairs oasis. We are in a random part of my apartment that we're not normally in. This is, all my plants are just over here to my left. And then this is a little shelf that I have here in my living room, which is housing all of my hanging plants. And today we're going to chop and prop some of these hanging plants, and then maybe we'll repot them too. See what happens. There's at least 3 here that I want to chop. But first I'm going to give you a little overview of what this cabinet looks like, top to bottom. I could not get all of me in the cabinet in a frame, so let me show you that real quick. Okay, so starting from the bottom here, we have my mini Monstera here on the floor. And this guy, it's hard to tell, but if you just follow him all the way up, he is almost at the roof. Look at this. We've got space for like maybe 3 or 4 more leaves, and then he's touching the roof. And then on either side of him, we have my heartleaf philodendron right here. And this is a golden pothos. And as you can see, when we scroll back down, they each have a vine that is just about to hit the floor. And then the last one I'm thinking about chopping is right here. This guy is my Monstera Peru. This guy's my Monstera Peru, and I'm gonna pick him up and show you why I wanna chop this guy. Okay, so this is my Monstera Peru up close. You can see there's 2 vines coming off the sides that have lots of leaves and they just look beautiful. They're doing super well. And then I have this vine in the front. So there's 2 bare nodes, and then a couple of leaves, 3 bare nodes, a couple of leaves, a couple more bare nodes, and then a leaf. So I'm thinking I'm gonna chop this one off that's just kind of wonky, that doesn't have many leaves. And I'm gonna propagate some of those, and then also the wet sticks. And then I'm gonna leave the other 2 just the way that they are. But this one in the front is just because it's so bare and we're chopping plants anyways, I figured let's just get into it. And then for the heartleaf philodendron, this one vine is all the way to the ground. So the next longest vine is right about here. So I'm thinking I'll just chop that long one there. That'll give me at least like 3 or 4 feet of growing space, you know, for it to grow over the summer before it reaches the ground again. And then same thing with my pothos. I don't know yet. I don't really want to cut this second vine. That's as long as this one is, just out of the camera frame. But the other one goes straight to the ground. So I kind of want to just even him out with his second vine, but then I feel like in like a month or 2, it's going to hit the floor again. So I don't know. But those are the 4 plants. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to put the camera a little bit further back. I'll just make the 1 cut off each plant. I'm going to leave them exactly the way they are. And then we'll sit down together and we'll chop them up and we'll propagate. And then we'll resume and see where we're at. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so I have a pair of clean gardening shears here. And then I also have this little bottle of alcohol. Whenever you're chopping any plants, you obviously need to sanitize your tools, and you want to make sure that you sanitize in between cuts, in between plants, so that if there's any, you know, issue or anything with one plant, you don't contaminate the second plant. You know what I'm saying? And this is my first time propagating any of my plants, so I like know what to do. I'm a little bit nervous. I shouldn't say any of my plants, but any of my hanging plants. I haven't propagated this way before by leaf cuttings. Okay, so the first plant that I'm going to propagate is my Monstera Peru, and I'm going to make my cut on this vine right below these two leaves. So you can see here's the vine. We've got, this one is rooted in the soil. This one, and then this one, and then I'm gonna make my cut right after. This is a bare node, there's no leaf, but we can still propagate this. So I'll explain how later, but for now I'm gonna make my cut right here, right underneath this leaf and this node that I want to keep on the plant. So right here. There we go. First one done. So this is what I'm left with for my Monstera Peru. And this is the vine that we have that we're going to propagate. So I'm going to set this to the side for now and we'll just make the other cuts. Now for my heartleaf philodendron, this guy is a little bit tangled here. Okay, so its next longest vines are right about here. So I think I'm gonna make my cut right here. This is a lot of leaves that I'm gonna have to propagate, so I think that's a good spot. And same as before, we're gonna make sure we keep the aerial roots and just go a little bit beneath. Cool. Okay, so this is my golden pothos. I don't think I want to cut the shorter vine. So I think I'm going to make my cut so that both of these vines are the same length. Okay, I'm going to chop it right here. Okay, so the last one is my mini Monstera. I don't know where to cut this one. So as you can tell, I mean, it goes all the way almost to the ceiling. This is the height of the first wooden stick that's holding it up. So if I was to cut it here, okay, I've been standing here for a long time trying to decide if I'm gonna cut it at that first wooden pole or not, and I think that I am. The reason I'm gonna cut so much is because I wanna start a second one of these for myself on a pole, and I also have a couple of friends who would like a cutting of this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it low, and then it needs to go in a new home, so I think I'm gonna find a better spot for it, and the shorter I cut it, the better, like the more I can move it to wherever I want my apartment, you know? So I'm gonna make my cuts right above here. Okay. Oh my God, that's so much. Okay, that's it. I made all my cuts. I'm gonna give you guys a little up and down view of how long all these plants are now, and then let's get to propagating. Okay, I'm back and I have a table full of pretty things. I'm excited. Okay, so I have a few little, just little crystal wine, I guess they're wine glasses or little port glasses. Um, how cute. Just that I got from Value Village. These are just, sitting around my home. So we're going to use those for propagation vessels. Where should we start? Let's start with the golden pothos because it's in the front and it's the shortest, I think. So first of all, look how pretty these leaves are. It just put out a new leaf. It has not unfurled yet, but it is out. And the best time to propagate is as soon as the new leaf has unfurled. So this should still unfurl, no problem. Also, if you can see any of the white dust, I just sprayed my plants with diatomaceous earth. There's not much on this one, but that's what that is. Okay, so as I was telling you before, when you want to propagate, at least these sorts of plants, I can't say this is going to work for every plant, but for these tropical plants, what you're looking for are these nodes on the back of the stem, or the petiole, I guess this is, where the leaves are. And that is what needs to be submerged in water so that it will grow roots. There's actually one right here too, which is funny. So yeah, each of these will have a node, and that's where we're going to get our roots. So all of this stem in the middle here, we don't need. So I'm going to be water propagating all of the stem cuttings, all of the leaf cuttings. And then the wet sticks is what they're called when there's no leaf, but there's just a node. We're going to be putting those in perlite later on. So these are sanitized, and basically I'm going to just cut off the little bit of random green at the end there. And then I'm going to make a cut right here. And this will be one propagation. Actually, I can show you there. And then all of this we don't need. So I'm going to cut it off. And then we'll make our other cut right behind. And then that will be our second propagation. Sorry if I don't make sense when I explain things, by the way. Again, we're just here for fun, not for education. But I will try to share whatever I know with you along the way. But I don't know all the words and stuff, so please just understand that. There's another petiole, or not petiole, there's another node, like an inch down from the leaf, like the other one. That's interesting. I'm going to leave those little ones on, even though they're small. So for this one, the marble pothos, I don't have any plans for these propagations. I may pot them back into the mother eventually, or maybe I'll just give them away. Who knows? This last one that has the leaf that hasn't unfurled yet, and then the newest leaf, I'm going to leave that one together because it has not formed a node yet. Even though there will be a node there, it hasn't formed. So we'll leave that as one cutting. Okay, so these are pretty short, so I'm going to put them into one of these little containers. Look how cute this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry. 6. Okay, so we got 7 cuttings. from this golden pothos. And then for water, I just have regular distilled water in here. And then I just put a few drops of like the Miracle Grow liquid fertilizer, but it's just like what's easily available at like Home Depot, you know? I really need to look into what sort of feed I should be giving, like propagations and water propagations and my plants that are in semi hydro. So if anyone has suggestions, I think there was one called Super Thrive that I've seen everybody using that I've thought about trying. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just using this because I have it. So I'm just going to fill this up. You have to make sure that those nodes are completely covered in water. And there you go. That's it. Now, as far as submerging this directly into water after doing the cuts, I think I've seen people leave them out for a while for the cuts to callus over. I don't know. You can weigh in the comments there how you might feel about that. But yeah, first one done. Oops. I'll put him right there. Okay, what should we do next? I guess let's do the heartleaf philodendron next. So we have quite a long cutting from this one. This plant was definitely stressed out, is definitely stressed out, I should say. Um, it's yellowing and it's losing leaves. All of these plants that we're chopping from today need to be repotted. We won't get to it in today's video, I don't think, but probably in the next video we'll repot them. So yeah, a lot of these leaves were starting to yellow and stuff on that plant. So I'm glad that at least it's got, a little bit less to feed with this cut off between now and when I get it repotted. So same situation as before. We want to keep the nodes, and the nodes are right there at the base of the leaf cuttings. So I'm not going to show you up close like I did before. We're going to do the exact same thing we just did. The only difference here is any of this papery stuff, you don't want to put that in the water because that will rot. And these are going to be a bit longer, so I'm going to put them directly into this really cute little china that I have here. We're going to put it in there. So what's going on in your guys' plant collections? Anything you're excited about that's, to see grow this growing season? Are you behind on any plant chores like I am? I feel like I'm behind on everything these days. But that's just life sometimes. As soon as I catch back up, I'll have like 3 good days and then I'll feel like I'm behind again. That's just how life works. I'm also just trying to watch out as I go. Some of my plants are dealing with thrips right now. I shouldn't even say right now. It's been an ongoing issue for months, I feel like. Hence the diatomaceous earth I mentioned earlier that I sprayed everybody with. So I'm just trying to keep an eye as I go here to see if I see any, but I think I got them off the philodendron. I haven't really seen them on there in a while. And I don't have any plans for these cuttings. I mean, these plants that I'm propagating today, they're not like expensive plants or anything. If you're someone who doesn't collect plants, you might not know that, but these are just available at Home Depot for like $5. Just doing it for fun. And I'll probably give them away to my friends. Or I will pot them back into the mother and make it more full. I just realized that there's a leaf here that hasn't unfurled. I think I have to cut them off. But there is a couple of nodes. I wonder if I put this in water, if it will. I'm just going to cut a little bit of the end off. And I'm going to stick that in there and see if that continues to grow or not, just for fun. This plant actually could really use some more cuttings in the pot. It's quite bare at the top now, so that's probably where the majority of these will go. Look at this cute little cup of philodendrons. Oh my gosh. So cute. I should give you some water ASMR the next time I pour. I'll try to remember. Okay, cute. Put this guy over here. Okay, I want to do the Monstera Peru last because that's the one that has the wet sticks. So next we'll do the mini Monstera. This one is the one that I have the most plans for. I have a friend who wants some cuttings from this. And then I'm excited to start a new one on a pole and see if I can get these leaves to size up because, as you've probably noticed, my leaves are quite small. Although it is also quite far from the window. I don't really have anywhere near a window that I can put this guy because he's a climber and I don't have anything for him to climb, I guess. Okay, so same situation as before. The nodes are right there at the base of the leaf. So maybe we will fast forward. I won't talk through this. I'll just fast forward it. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I am so sorry. We need bouquets of tropical plants. Stop. Okay, the last one we have is my Monstera Peru. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaf cuttings, and then we have like 10 wet sticks. So to show you guys, is there a node here? Yes. So right here, this little brown thing, this is the node that we were talking about before. So for this one, this is all we need. So if I make a cut right here, then this is considered a wet stick. And then these leaf cuttings also have a node. So we'll water propagate them as we did the others. And for this one, this guy also just put out a new leaf. Every time I see new leaves, I check for thrips. I think we're good. Okay, so okay, so I have my wet sticks over here. We'll deal with those in a moment. These leaves aren't like sitting great in here. I'm gonna add some water and see what happens, but we have these 4, I can hardly even show you, leaf cuttings here. Yeah, they wanna fall directly out. So let's add some water and see if that helps them. Might make it worse. Okay, so I was thinking about possibly experimenting with Leca for some of these. And because these guys don't want to stay in, I think I'm going to add some Leca and just attempt propagating them that way. And then if the four of these root and are doing really well in Leca, I may just start growing a new plant with those because I have no plans with this these particular propagations either. I'm just doing it for fun to try, you know? So I'm going to grab some Leca and dump this water out. Okay, so I'm back. I have my cuttings here and I have my bowl of Leca. I'm just going to add a bit into the bottom of this crystal. And I'm going to add the cuttings. Then we're just going to top it off with more Leca. It's really simple. I like Leca because it holds things in place, or at least sometimes it does. It's not right now, but give it a minute. All right, it took me a million years, but I finally have them situated in their Leca. And let's see if I notice any difference between this guy and just the water pops. I'm going to fill it all the way up with water because, I don't know, you can just water prop them, so I don't see why I can't fill it all the way up with water, you know? We're starting new roots anyways, so. Okay, I'm excited. Let me show you guys what we ended up with. Wait, no, wet sticks. Okay, I have cleaned up, and the last thing we have to do is the wet sticks. So I have this little container, which is like a seed starting container normally. It would have cells inside. So I just don't have the cells, and it's full of perlite. And basically, I've never done a wet stick before, but from what I understand, you just want the nodes facing downwards into the perlite so that they can grow roots. So that's what I'm going to do. This is what my wet sticks look like. So we'll make sure that this node is facing downwards into the perlite. And from the top, this is what we'll see. And I'm just going to line them up beside each other. We were left with 8 wet sticks, by the way. Okay, so this is basically what it looks like. Simple. And we're just going to add water. We don't want these like submerged or anything. But we do want to make sure that, you know, it's got enough, you know? That magical spot. Okay. Okay, so we do want to keep this humid. So I'm going to put the top on, but I'm going to vent it. And I think I'm actually going to put this under artificial lighting because it's kind of deep in the container and I could put it in a windowsill, but I think I would rather put it on my shelf and just put its own light on it, you know? So that's what I'm going to do. And then these guys are just going to go into the windowsill. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another planting video with me. This was so fun. I'm so excited to see what these props look like in a month or so and how long they take to root. Let me know if you guys think there's going to be any difference with the one in perlite as opposed to the ones in water. I mean, they're all different plants, so obviously they're all going to grow differently. It'll be interesting too with the wet sticks. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these plants if everything roots and goes well, but I'll find people to give it away to. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.